At least I didn't forget to go live.
What quantities are shown in the graph? So our table is going to help us read our graph as well. So we talked about a graph having an X and having a Y. So for those of you that can't remember, this line down here is X, and I need to fix this so that I can actually write on the line. Maybe. Okay, so down here we have our X, and up we have our Y. So X represents the elapsed time, just like in our table, and distance from the ticket booth is our Y distance, like in our table. So if in a coordinate we have X first and then Y, so that might be something good to write down if you cannot remember. So for graphs, we have X and Y. Our point, it says what quantities are shown in the graph. We have 40, 50, correct? And if I were to read X goes first, right, elapsed time, and distance from the ticket booth. So I want you guys to think about that. What could that mean? What could that mean if I'm reading time basically to get to the ticket booth?
Nothing wants to work today. Okay, so our next question says, how far is the ticket booth from the bumper cars? Okay, so let's check it out. We said X and Y. We have time and distance. So distance from the ticket booth. Do we have enough information right now to know how far the ticket booth is from the bumper cars? Do we even know where the bumper cars are? No, right? So we can't figure that out right now. Do the values in your table show a proportional relationship, and how do you know? Okay, we talked about proportional relationships last week. I was about to say yesterday. How do we know that a relationship in a table is proportional? What did we say? Anybody? What did we say has to be the same all the way down?
The ticket number, then divide every single one.
Okay, good. So you have to find your unit rate. So remember, we have X and we have Y. So we need to do unit rate is Y over X. So last week on some classwork assignments, I had people telling me, oh, well, the second row is not the same, so it's not proportional. We're not looking at the second row. So if that was you, I want you to unthink that. You have to do the second row divided by the first row, and that gives you your unit rate. So 0 divided by 0 gives us what? 0. So that's just our point right here. So that one's not going to count towards our unit rate. But if I do 25 divided by 20, what does that give me? I swear I have a hair in my mouth. 25 divided by 20.
0.25.
0.25. Can we all confirm this? Confirm? Yes? 37.5 divided by 30.
Wait a minute, he's 1.25.
Thank you. 1. 1.25. What about 50 divided by 40? Sorry. It's so annoying.
1.25.
1.25. So was 25 divided by 20.25 or 1.25?
1.25.
Oh, okay. Just making sure because I kind of felt like maybe I wrote it wrong, but no one's confirming in here, just looking at me like I'm crazy. Okay, so is our unit rate the same all the way down? Yes or no? Like, use your words. Yes, it is. It's the same all the way down. The 0 and 0 don't count towards our unit rate. So our unit rate is 1.25. Yes. We have a proportional relationship. How do we know that we have a proportional relationship?
We divide x, y divided by x.
And it gave us what?
1.25.
All the way down. So that's very important. So not only we divided and it gave us this number, we divided and it gave us this number all the way down, the same number. So yes, we have a proportional relationship. We have the same unit rate throughout the table, and I wish it would let me write that all down. But you can't see it throughout the table. Okay, so we're going to figure out, we know that the table is proportional. So that means that the graph obviously is going to be proportional. But we also need to know, how do we know that a graph is proportional just by looking at a graph? So that's what we're looking at today. Okay, so what do the coordinates of the points on the graph show? So we talked a little bit about this before. We said x is showing time, y is showing distance, just like in our table. So, and sometimes you'll have to make a story, and I'm the worst at making the stories, I'm not going to lie. I'm the worst at making the stories. But we know that it's 40 and 50. So we know that 40 represents time and 50 represents distance. So even if you're the worst at making up a story, it's as simple as saying, oh, it took, and I don't know what his name is, we're going to call him Daryl. It took Daryl 40 seconds, because it says seconds right here, to walk 50 meters to the ticket booth. Because we know we were talking about the ticket booth. So that's all I'm asking you to do when you have something like that. You're just talking out what you have. 40 seconds to walk 50 meters. Well, that's it. So this shouldn't be something super confusing for anybody. I know there's a lot of different things to talk about when we're starting to talk about graphs. And it's okay if you didn't write anything down, because I didn't ask you to. I just wanted to talk through it. Okay, so it asks, what equation represents this relationship? Where do you see K in the table? Okay, first thing I want to talk about is, what is the equation? What did we say the unit rate was for this table?
1.25.
1.25. Perfect. So, Randy, what would the equation be? Y equals what?
Y equals 1.25x.
1.25x. That's perfect. So if I'm asking you, what is the equation? You're writing out y equals 1.25x. Now, if I was going to look on my graph, and I'm going to graph 1 and 1.25. So where do you see the unit rate? So remember, it's 1 to 1.25, so it's kind of like something up here, more or less,
as best as we can get. Doesn't have to be perfect. So seagulls eat what? I don't know. I think they eat fish. So 4 seagulls ate 10 pounds of garbage. Assume this information describes a proportional relationship. So why is it important to read the directions? It's already telling you we have a proportional relationship. So yes, this will be proportional. 4 seagulls ate 10 pounds of garbage. Plot a point that shows the number of seagulls and the amount of garbage they ate. So when you have a graph like this and you have the information out, so we know that the bottom is X and we know that the side is Y. So if number of seagulls is my X, I have 4 seagulls. So I have 4 seagulls, which is my X. And then I have pounds is my Y. So I have my coordinate. And I don't see any writing going on for some of you. So that would probably be a problem come the quiz on Thursday if you don't have this written down and you don't know what you're doing. Plot a point that shows the number of seagulls and the amount of garbage. So we know it's 4, and then we go up to 10. So it sounds like we are pretty good with plotting points. Don't judge my point plotting because this marker does not like to go where it needs to. So we go 4, and then we go up 10. So we have our point 4, 10. Now use a straight edge to draw the line through the point 0, 0. I don't have a straight edge. So if it's wiggly, it's because I don't have a ruler. So it's asking you to go through 0, 0, which is down here. And we're going straight through that line. That wasn't so bad. What is the value of K? What does K mean in this context? So if I were to look, and now again, remember it's not a perfect line. So I would probably still do 10 divided by 4 to make sure because my line is not perfect. But it's asking plot 1K, which is our unit rate. So if I'm going to plot my unit rate, I would probably still do 10 divided by 4. Can someone tell me what that gives me?
2.5.
Thank you. 2.5. So remember, R and K mean the same thing. So our unit rate is 2.5. So what does K mean in this context? That means that for every 1 seagull, they eat 2.5 pounds of garbage, which is gross. I thought they ate fish. They eat garbage. 2.5 pounds of garbage each. So that's basically what it's telling us. So what do you notice before we even move on? What do you notice about this proportional graph? What do you notice? What do you see? Is it crooked? Is it straight? What is it? Kevin, what do you see? Is it straight or crooked? You're Kevin? Is it straight or crooked? So it's straight. Look at that. A proportional relationship has a straight line.
So that means if I had something going like this, would that be a proportional relationship? No, it would not. So we know one thing about a proportional relationship is that they have straight lines. And once we get to the part where we're writing these things down, make sure you write it. We already talked about that. Okay, so today's big ideas. We can interpret points on a graph and know what they mean. The y value that goes with the x of 1 shows us the constant of proportionality. Today's goals. So even less than that, I want to add a page, which I'm going to, because you're going to write some things down for me. A blank slide. Okay, can everybody see that? So, graph. Yes, you're writing these things down on your paper. No, as long as you see it here. Graph. Maybe I should write it. That way everybody can see it. Type it out. A graph. That is proportional. Has a straight line. Goes through 0, 0. And I know we talk about this a little bit more tomorrow, like more specifically, but I'd rather you guys just have it right now. So a graph that's proportional has a straight line and goes through 0, 0. So if it doesn't have both of those, it is not proportional. So make sure you have that written down. And today's was really an introduction to graphs, but I still want you to have it written down. Okay, so once you're done with this, if you did not finish your pre-assessment, I want you to go back and finish that. So my thoughts were, should I just make sure that they do their pre-assessment today and then not do classwork and give them like a free classwork day to make sure we get our pre-assessment done? There's like 2 or 3 questions maybe. No, not it. I think 2 or 3 people have finished only. 7. Yeah. Did we write it down? Are we good? Okay. Oops. Okay, so once that stops. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So you're going to notice that it's not sharing anymore. There is a purpose. I know I have classwork assigned for today, but I want to make sure that everybody gets our pre-assessment done. So if you have not finished our pre-assessment, I would like you to go back in and finish. So I know that we have a few newcomers. I need you to get on to that warm up for today and get it done. If you are done with it, then I am done with you today, and I will see or talk to you tomorrow. Any questions? I guess that's a no. Goodbye, lovely people. I still have Yair is not done. Oops. Hold on, Junior. I don't know what I just did. No, you do not have to do your classwork if you are done with your pre-assessment, so do not stress it. I will tell you if you're finished in a second. Okay, so I just realized I was just showing everything away. You should be focused on you too. Okay. I'm like, oh. Okay, Santiago, you are done. Ruby, I like your answer. Jose, you are done. Junior, you are done. Annabelle, you're finished. Also, the rest of you are not finished. And I'm going to unlink the classwork assignment so that you don't think you have to do it. I'm gonna be nice today. But that means I should see everyone done with their assignment for Friday. Yeah. I thought we did. Didn't we? I don't know. We've done so many that at this point, I don't even know. I should have written down everybody's name.
I know we did it for Answer twice. Maybe something. I want to go ahead and fill one out because he has to learn and end up shopping for him.
Okay. Thank you. I'm thinking of opening up the classwork for the rest of the week. Thinking about it. Mm-hmm. those of you still with me at home, how would you feel if I opened up your classwork assignments for the rest of the week? Would that help you out to make sure you get it done by Saturday?
Do we have to do that classwork for today?
Not for today. I already unlinked it because I wanted to make sure everybody got their pre-assessment done. But how would you feel if I opened up tomorrow and Friday's classwork today? Just to give you a little bit of extra time to get it done if you need it.
Otherwise, I have to do my second block size assessment again.
Gotcha.
So I have to leave or
You can, yes.
see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Oops. Did Junior type something in? Because I can't see it. Mine went blank. Okay. Junior likes the idea. Emily, you only have one question answered so far. Luisa, you're almost finished. Garniel, te faltan 4 preguntas por terminar. Yair, you're missing 3. Ruby, was there a submit button at the end? Like a finished, I'm done? Okay, no, because yours is still lighting up blue at the end, so I was just curious. So I am going to open up the next 2 days' assignment. So if you would like to start them now so that you don't fall behind, so you get them done, I have them open.